Hello, welcome back to another episode of CBFU from the shop. It's June 11th, 2014, and we're here at Manifest Comics reviewing this week's new releases.
This week we have Manifest Destiny, issue number 7. Now, this is a weird place to start, but it's a new jumping point for this arc, where we continue the, well, let me just give you the premise real quick. It's Lewis and Clark, basically, but it's kind of like a retelling of their exploits, but with a sci-fi horror twist, whereas the American wilderness is filled with these exotic monsters, and they are essentially hunting them. Now, I haven't read the first 6 issues of this book, so I figured I'd be able to come in and jump on this new point. I found it a little bit hard at first, but due to the writing and the art and the story, I found myself intrigued, and I am actually going to go back and pick up the original 6 issues, just so I can, get a better grasp of what's going on in the book.
Yeah, our new rating system is the Lugo. So how many Lugos does it get?
I would definitely give it a strong 6 Lugos. I'll give it a strong 6 Lugos. That means it's not a fantastic book. It's not like a definitely go out and read it. But if you're looking for a new indie book that you want to try, after I go back and I'll read the first 6, I'll give you a review of the first 6. But if you're looking for a new book that you want to jump on, it definitely caught my attention, and it's something that I would suggest to people who are interested in like monsters and monster hunting and stuff like that.
All right, our next book is the next part of the Superman Doomed storyline. It's Superman and Wonder Woman number 9 by Charles Soule and art by Tony Daniels. And I'm not a big fan of this whole Doomed storyline.
Yeah.
I think it's not going to end until August. I think it's going on way too long.
Too many books.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Superman as the Incredible Hulk idea. It's not the best story, but what I do have to say about it is the writing by Charles Soule and Greg Pak is really good. And this is definitely one of the stronger parts of this storyline. Charles Soule writes the Wonder Woman and Superman relationship probably like no other writer so far. He really gives it time and space and everything.
Especially Diana, the way that she works in this relationship, and like how she's unwilling to give up on Superman, even though everybody else is like, no, he needs to go down.
Yeah.
Guys turn into Doomsday, for God's sake, and just like the way that she keeps trying to help him.
Yeah.
And then we get a guest appeence from
the Red Lanterns.
Yeah,
the Red Lanterns.
Yeah.
The one problem with this is because of the New 52-itis.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman somehow doesn't know who Guy Gardner is.
Nobody knows who Guy Gardner is.
Apparently his life has been erased.
But comes the Red Lantern, and that's it. All of his Green Lantern history is just expunged from the record.
But other than that, it was really good. The art's good by Tony Daniel. That's a solid book. I'm not a big fan of the storyline, but with more chapters like these, I would definitely give it a shot.
And Red Lantern is probably my favorite Lantern book of the Rats right now.
Also Charles Soule.
Yeah, also Charles Soule.
Yeah.
And the way that he uses the Red Lanterns in the book, it makes sense for what they're trying to do with the whole Superman
protecting the Earth and everything. Yeah.
So it was good to see that type of interplay between characters from another book coming into a DC book for once, besides it just being a crossover between the super characters.
So I definitely give this 7 Lugos out of 10.
And now we have Original Sins with an S. Original Sin, Original Sins.
Not to be confused with the original Sin.
It's issue number 1 of 5 of their compilation book, where basically you're just going to get a bunch of mini tales, and they're going to weave through the actual event of Original Sin. This one actually does a job of introducing Deathlock back into the Marvel Now landscaping, and basically it's showing us Mike Perkins and Nathan Edmondson, who just announced as the new creative team for the ongoing Deathlock book.
Yeah, it starts in October.
We're basically showing us a little teaser of what we're going to be getting from that book, and it was really good. Honestly, I gotta say, it took the aesthetic of Deathlock from the Shield, Agents of Shield television show, and again, same thing what they did with Nick Fury Jr. It throws it into the comic book, but it doesn't disregard everything that we've come to know from Deathlock. And it kind of paints him as like this Terminator-esque type secret Winter Soldier sleeper agent, and it was just a really good read. Short, of course, because it's in a compilation book.
Which is really a taste of what's to come.
And then the second story, which will be our more continuing story in the whole compilation, was the Young Avengers segment, and I enjoyed it. It was playful, it was fun. It was really just Marvel Boy, Prodigy, and Hulkling that was featured in the book. But we do get a nice little cliffhanger at the end of the villain who's going to be playing a story over this whole segment, and it's somebody I've waiting to come back into prominence in the Marvel Universe. So that was just that really got me hyped about the book. So I would give this actually 8 out of 10 Lugos. Original Sins number 1. Go ahead and pick that up. Definitely a good
The extra S is for solid, right?
When a book is solid, I'll tell you.
It's a solid read.
Our last book of the week for this week is Infinity Man and the Forever People by Dan DiDio and Keith Giffen. What can we say about this book? It's if CW was given a chance to do a Jack Kirby property, this is probably what you would get.
Yes.
It's the art's good. The art's very like Jack Kirby-esque, which is appropriate because he originally did the Infinity Men and the Forever People back in the 70s. But the dialogue is very stilted, very wordy.
Corny.
Yeah. And it's not very good. It's not a good introduction to the new Genesis mythology for the DC.
I didn't
D2.
find myself caring about any character at all, and from the first issue, you're introducing me to these characters, essentially, like, assume that I don't know anything about the Infinity Men. You want me to make a connection with some of the characters so that I can continue to root for them.
No, it's a slow start. None of the characters are particularly likable.
I was hoping they would jump to the boom tube and just not exit anywhere.
Yeah.
Just be the end.
It's very much like the New Gods High School edition.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I'm not interested in reading about the New Gods High School.
Especially the way Azzarello handled the New Gods in Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
You know, like, that was a great way
No,
to show
they've been handled better in other places. Azzarello did High Father and Orion.
Yeah.
Jeff Johns did Darkseid and Desaad and everything. But this is just not a good continuation of that story.
And, you know, for all new launching ongoing, it's a very weak showing for the first issue.
Yeah, no.
So how many Lugos we give that?
I guess 2 Lugos, and that's being
I got no Lugos. No Lugos for this book.
I'm being generous. I'll give it 2 Lugos.
But yeah, so that's our books for this week. This has been another episode of CBFU from the shop. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you want to hear, what you want us to review, and buy comics.
Yep. We'll see you next week.